Dragons. Welcome to another glorious evening of Streamlined Dungeons Dragons. I am your host, Dane, also known as DMDBI. Next to me is Megan. She'll be playing Calcine. She's a Fire Ganassi barbarian with some fighter dip as well. Like she's dipped into fighter a little bit as well. And then next to her is Tim playing Magvaris, a human cleric to Perego, the Life Lord of the Realm. Next to him is Cam. She's playing Jilsara Hawk, a Eladrin rogue assassin, archer type. And next to her is Evan. He's now playing Webb, who he's always been playing, but at this point in time, he's pretty much mostly known by everybody as a bard of the halfling variety. And finally, we have Max, who previously was playing Rigby, who was kidnapped by some spectral forces originating from an alabaster tower after the party was knocked unconscious. All but Magvaris and I believe Webb were knocked unconscious upon the alabaster tower appearing. Specters came out and whisked Rigby away into the night, and the alabaster tower promptly removed itself from the premises after that. Max will be playing Roland, and we will get into who Roland is at a further time down the road today. So, as we left off last game, we had just finished fighting a big-ass red dragon. As it was dying, or as its death was imminent, the water elementals that had been summoned by the Coppice Nature Staff, or the Staff of Coppice, they summoned a bunch of elementals and other tree type or nature fae and things like that to come and help fight the dragon. They have been fighting the fire to put it out and quench the flame, and we are now left in the ruined estate of the Winterthorn family. Minus 2 players, because Zaius, played by Evan's wife Audra, passed away in a cursed flame to where she cannot be resurrected. And Rigby once again was kidnapped. So we now have the remaining 5 players plus the 6 NPCs, both both Webb's parents and sister, and 2 of their house staff and 1 traveler that was nearby at the time are all that remain. So that is where we are. If you guys want to pick up and discuss your ideas and thoughts and where you want to go next, I know firstly that Corsoth is probably on the mind, just considering that is where you have a time restraint set up on.
Yeah, we have to go get those texts for Farron.
Correct.
That was the plan. Yep. Do this and then go do that.
Right.
But
the trick now is Rigby was going to teleport the party, but he has disappeared. So.
Oh yeah, that was a thing. Also, his little servants had Gunther, so.
They're probably just standing there at least until the next morning, and then they'll revert to their instincts.
Well, we need to go get Gunther in case there's any way to save him. I think he'll fit into a bag of holding, right? Because he's dead, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, he doesn't have to breathe.
Right.
Also, if anybody needs like arrows or short swords or anything, you can probably just take them from those skeletons.
Magvaris wasn't really happy to take all that.
Yeah, well, wasn't there an option that I could control them eventually?
You would have to prepare Animate Dead.
All I have to do is a long rest then.
So the next morning, you can take them over if you want.
I mean, I think I'd feel bad because my buddy got taken. I'm not going to leave his buddies, you know.
Yeah, I think clerics have Animate Dead, don't they?
Clerics can get Animate Dead. My question would be, though, as a cleric of the Life Lord, would you really feel comfortable running around with more undead stuff? I know you're already kind of dabbling in it.
Undead.
I'm undead.
I understand that.
Which gives him some sort of empathy regarding those who have been reanimated.
He feels for the undead, maybe a little, huh? So, are you guys going to go look for the skeletons across the river?
I am concerned with getting Gunther.
Okay. Is everyone going, or just some of you? Or
how's Webb's family doing?
I mean, your mom's over there. She's healing. She's been healing, and she's bust out a med kit she had on her, and she's starting to bandage people. And you can see that she's praying over them, and they're, her face and your sister and dad's face are all streaked with tears as their 40-year family estate has been basically burnt to cinder,
No.
to ash. All of his goblet collection, as I showed last week, was pretty much destroyed. He had many fine goblets and cups that he had collected over time. It's just your dad was a pack rat for goblets. Those are gone. Many of the texts and things that they'd collected were gone. Many of their, possessions and prizes are they're basically homeless without much stuff left. They can rifle through and get a little bit, but Dragonfire tends to lay waste to possessions.
Cool. I'll chat with my dad at some point.
Okay. It sounded like Calcine was going to head across the river to check on Gunther's body with the skeletons who are no longer in control. Anyone going with her?
Yeah, I'm already across the river, so I would meet up with her. Head that way.
Yeah, I would definitely follow Cassine.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
Well, I thought we already put Gunther in the spatial.
Yeah, that was the plan originally, but then I think Max said the skeletons would carry him around. So, regardless, you get over there and the skeletons and Gunther are not there. They're nowhere to be seen. There's some tracks. There's if you have survival as a class skill, feel free to roll it. If you don't have it as a skill, it's not going to do you any good. So,
Oh, thought I had that.
you might have. I mean, barbarians. I think barbarians can get it.
I don't have it. I thought I did.
11. I'm not even over there. Never mind.
Yeah, you're checking on your family. Anybody else have it? Nobody else had it, really? Okay, not a big deal. Yeah, but the Gunther and the skeletons are nowhere to be seen.
Perfect.
Oh. There was evidence
Excellent.
until Jolsara got there.
And then it just went up in smoke.
Drags her feet through. She's like, I wanted to kill the dragon.
That sounds like me.
Rocks around.
The dragon's body is on the fire map there, circled around. Basically, I think Calcine, you're currently there. Yeah, it's you that's at the bottom of the map there. All that fire is gone. I can erase that. I can get rid of the cursor. I can't erase the red fire, but I can erase the black flame.
Hey, Dane, can you put me on the map just so I can see it?
Yeah, I'll make that happen. Why isn't it erasing, I wonder? Okay, well.
If there's no more Gunther and skeletons, then I'm gonna say we cut our losses. I'm gonna gather everybody and say we should probably get on our way. Everybody's healed, so we don't really need to rest. Or spells, I guess. But
Yeah.
we're kind of on a time crunch.
A bit. Do you remember how long you had?
My notes do.
We get
If it was
anything
like-
from the dragon, like collect some scales or try and cut up his stomach and see what's inside?
Jeez.
What he ate?
No, I don't have the timeline on there. It just says that
It was before the
Stop already.
full moon, I thought.
I think you guys had 10 days. I don't remember either. So let's just call it 10 days,
Okay.
which is basically a long week, a regular week in this world, just like in Faerun. Cool, so yes, you can mess around with the dragon and cut it open and do all the things if you would like. That's a survival check as well to cut it and to dissect it, essentially, and try and find out what's inside, if anything.
My sister would probably be good at that.
She would not be good at it if she's interested. She's more devastated than anything at this point.
Webb could certainly try to do that as well.
I don't understand why. Oh, apparently because they're not in the combat tracker, they don't show up on the map as titled things.
Did you say survival or nature?
Survival. Skinning an animal is survival. Knowing about the animal is nature. A little bit of combo of the either, really, but
12.
for you, okay.
I kind of remember how to, field dress an animal.
It's just tough, because it's been so long.
It has been.
With your
Many
sister's
fortnights.
assistance, You guys can choose what to do. I'm gonna say with a 22, you guys can actually harvest about 87% of the body of the creature. So like whether it's scales or bones or it's blood or guts or whatever, or claws, kind of pick a good majority of it can be salvaged. You could even take like its head as a trophy, essentially, things like that. So just figure out what that's going to be, and Willow will help whoever it is to figure it out. Once you guys tell
The
her what
head
she'd
for
like.
sure. We can get that head in the bag of holding, right?
I mean, it'll squeeze in just because it's epic.
I guess this is an opportunity to grab some more dragon meat for the goblins to
Make those dragon steaks.
Dragon jerky.
Oh, dragon
Yeah.
jerky.
It's my boutique line.
We didn't find any legendary armor in like dragon's stomach.
No, unfortunately, he shot that out a long time ago.
Save those scales. Maybe you can get some
No,
dragon scale armor.
no, but he must have had a armor of invulnerability in his stomach. It couldn't digest it because it was vulnerable. Right?
Something that the silver dragonborn had mentioned kind of strikes and holds in your minds, saying something about you waking a dragon up. And I mean, it didn't make sense at the time, but roll nature checks if you have nature. Group tactics. Oh,
Awful. I'm rolling
that's
terribly.
not super great. Does anybody
Wish I had the lucky feat.
Does anybody else
Web
nature?
got distracted by a bee buzzing by.
I'm allergic.
Again, your sister's like, honestly, dragons this size tend to sleep more than they actually are out about. Because of their age and their size, it takes a lot of energy for them to stay up for long periods of time. They'll sleep for, like 50 plus years sometimes. I hadn't heard any rumors of this dragon being around. It just sort of appeared, and that's weird to me.
Well, whatever possessed it's probably what woke it up. Did we realize that it was possessed?
I think Magvarus and Roland, I'm sorry, Magvarus and Rigby did. But Rigby left. Well, was taken.
So me and Sis were just cutting away at this dragon.
It sounds like it. And you guys discussed a little bit about what you wanted. It sounds like we wanted some dragon steaks for the goblins, and those will preserve pretty well in a bag of holding. The head, if you want that, will preserve okay in a bag of holding until you can get it to a good taxidermist to put it together. Also, if you ritual cast preserve, no, that wouldn't work. There is a spell. What is it, Max? It's not preserve life, but isn't there gentle repose?
Yeah.
You could cast gentle repose as a ritual on it.
I think I have that actually.
From going. I think it's a 0 level or first level.
I've
spell.
never used it.
It's a good chance to use it. It'll go good on that. But again, the bags of holdings are airtight, like non-refrigerated, but airtight, like holes in space-time continuum. So it's like not that big a deal to utilize them as a portable refrigerator, apparently, minus the cold part.
I don't have it. My Barovian druid had it.
He's a really cool guy. He had a great accent.
R.I.P.
Rest in hell. But yeah, so what you won't get then, if you're taking dragon steaks and the head, you can choose either claws or scales.
Scales.
Or teeth.
Yeah, claws go with teeth. The teeth are in the head, so you took the head.
Yeah.
You're not going to take those out and mount a toothless dragon on the wall. Or you might. I mean, I guess you could.
Lives.
You don't know me, right?
No, we must.
Come see Grandpa Red.
I can see how you beat him. He doesn't even have any freaking teeth.
He tried to gum us to death.
It didn't work. We just gave him Trident. No, that's pretty funny though.
Wow.
But okay, so we'll take the scales over the claws then.
Yeah.
And the thought process is it just kind of gets all chopped up in the process of taking the scales out. They're not brittle, but they're just not really salvageable. If anything, you could each have one claw, like not a full claw, but like one full nail. So if you want ancient red dragon nail, throw that in your inventory. Whoever wants to get an ancient, 87% ancient grandpa dragons worth of scales. Those will come in handy to a decent armorer. Somebody could come in handy to like a red dragon scale armor or something. You might be able to sell it. It might look good as just having it. You might just want to make a neat bag. You know, you do whatever you want. I'm just here for you to have fun. So
Like one scale could probably armor my entire body.
no, it's not that big. He had like they're about the size of maybe a football, maybe two of them. A little bit bigger than a football, probably. I don't know. Maybe one could on the front and one on the back, maybe. But you'd have to like tie them on, like loop them around you or something. Maybe like I think having something built would be better. Let's just say it.
Hey, sis, can you save me them gizzards? I really like those, so I'm fry them up later.
She slaps a gizzard. I don't know what that is. She slaps a gizzard in your hand.
Thank you. What do you think? What do you think you and Mom and Dad are going to do now? Think you're going to rebuild or
I've
take off?
not lived here in a decade. Ever since you left, I left shortly after. And I've been kind of just traveling the prowling jungle as the rest of the world is just ate up. I was in the area and I had a feeling in my gut and I stopped by, and the good thing I did too, or that dragon would have never come down.
Yeah, that's true. You wouldn't have lost so many arrows to the wind. It's good
You
to
always
see
were
you.
a smug little shit.
Well, that's true.
You look like
Probably
you put on a
more
little
smug
weight,
now.
and didn't you used to have hair?
Yeah, well, it's been a tough winter on Summerside.
Winter
I don't know if you've been
winter
there or
doesn't
not,
really
but-
come to Summerside. That's why it's called
Well,
Summerside.
you've never left the prowling jungle. You don't know.
Well, I also am comfortable in the prowling jungle. You obviously can't keep up with your older sister.
As exciting as this bickering is, I'd like to remind the party web that we have a task at hand. You can bicker with your sister later.
Here's your
Well,
fucking
I was just-
gizzard. I'm out of here. I don't want to deal with this. And she walks off towards your parents.
Love it.
Thanks for not killing the dragon.
Even your friend's a bitch. And she kind of mumbles out under her breath as she walks away.
I cast polymorph on her.
Oh god, it turned her into a centipede. A halfling centipede.
Yeah, it turns her into a monarch butterfly.
Caw-caw!
That's exactly the sound monarchs
I
make.
knew that's what they sound like. Caw-caw! Oh, yeah. Monarch butterflies, they got a lot of vocal cords.
Pew 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 pew.
Pew, pew, pew. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Oh, rest in peace. Cool. So she struts off, you made her mad. Like, you and your sister have always had a good relationship. It's just always been a strange and kind of stranglehold of a relationship. Siblings have to be, not by want. Cool. So after the dragon has been skinned, you've realized Gunther and the skeletons are gone. Plan of action for you guys.
We gotta get to. How long is it? How long is the journey to Korsoth? Where are we going?
Yeah, that's where you're going. So it's a ways.
Long ways.
That's not
Can
the
we
one.
get there in time? And back in time? Because now we can't. I mean, we literally have no one that can. There's no way to get there and back quickly the way we were planning.
Well, I can teleport us, but I don't know of any teleportation circles in Korsoth. I could get us back to Summerside or even Morinth. Those are really the only two I know. I just kind of picked it up from Rigby.
I don't remember what. Oh, hold on.
So you guys are currently kind of mid Grenweld. It's halfway across Grenweld and then all the way across Korsoth to get to the Crystal Tower or the Crystal.
Did we
You probably wouldn't be able to get there in time on foot.
So we found Well, Rigby was working on. We found the teleportation circle to get us here, right?
Yes.
Is that what we found? We didn't find the one in Corsoth where we're going to get back. We didn't find another.
Right. So you guys got here and were immediately put into the oven. Like shit was happening, and you had to do stuff.
I think we had that though. We only needed the book that we used to find like this one that was like out of the way, but like the Corsoth one I thought was well known.
None of them. They're not really well used. I mean, that book was real.
You still need someone to be able to cast the spell teleportation circle.
Yeah, they're not like just sitting there for people to use.
It's not like you can press the buttons there. You have to.
Right. That's what I thought Webb was saying he could do.
Does Webb know teleportation circle?
Yeah, I have teleportation circle, but I only know the circles in Summerside and Morinth. So I could only get us there.
I was under the impression that we had the location of the one in Corsoth because she was going to send us directly there.
Yeah, Rigby had
it.
Rigby had it.
Yeah. If we had that, I could do it. But
did Rigby not give me back the book that we borrowed from?
No, I'm sure Rigby kept it. None of his stuff got left behind.
Yeah, I don't know why he would give it to you anyway, because you can't cast it. He was the one studying all the different circles to figure out where they all were.
Yeah.
His backpack or whatever, his knapsack didn't get left behind when he got taken.
Oh no, it was on him.
Okay. Well,
I mean, someone at Summerside could, if we go to the school there, I forget the name of it. If we go there, they probably have, a teleportation circle for there, and then I could do it from there.
The issue isn't the circle. Like we have a circle that we came in on. It's that we need to figure out the circle for South.
And these teleportation circles are not a main form of transportation. Like these are old magic. And high magic
your
too.
Parents give us like any? Does your family have transportation? Like wagons and shit. I don't know.
They had a little more than before the fire and then the attacks. They might be able to wrangle some stuff up for you. As you guys are kind of milling around deciding what to do, a pair of centaurs, one of which you recognize, and a pair of satyrs, kind of stroll out of the wood. Dragging a couple bodies that are roped together of just dead. Evil minions and things like you'd fought before. A couple of the fire dwarfs or whatever, they've got all dead, but they're being pulled behind on a cord. They kind of they trot up to you, and Vincent nods at the party. Says, "Fortunate to see you here again. It seems."
It's good to see you, Vincent. We really appreciate your help.
Yes, of course. The call of Copus is not to be ignored by any of the forest folk.
This is the second time you've helped us.
I think your humanoids call it coming in the clutch, and he says something kind of awkwardly. And as he's speaking, a little Slamborina alights on his shoulder and starts to chew on her nails. Red hair all frazzle out, and she's just sitting there on his shoulder, chewing on her nail, kind of looking at you guys. She kind of looks at Webb, giggles a bit, chews on her nail some more. Winks at Magvaris. Flies over to his shoulder. Swoops down into the pouch. There's some rumbling. Then she comes out riding the dragon.
What?
The pseudo-dragon.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Wait a second.
So now the pseudo-dragon is flying around with Slamborina mounted on it, and Vincent and his buddy, not Vincent, are just chilling there. After a little bit of time, they say, "Do you want these corpses? Do you want these fire dwarfs? Otherwise, we'll take them back."
Call his buddy not Vincent.
Yeah, I just did. That's his name.
Well, we don't need corpses, do we?
Fantastic! A feast is in order. We'll get them cooked accordingly. And they start and not Vincent because he never introduced himself, so you don't know his name. He takes the two cords and he starts to trot off into the distance, dragging 6 dead dwarfs behind him.
Do these I I don't know shit about these guys. Do you guys know anything about teleportation? It's
Magic.
If we get to Korsoth from here, man.
To Korsoth. An evil land.
Yeah.
It's been besmirched by darkness. I would not go there if you paid me. However, dwarves do taste good over a hot fire. Only if they're killed in proper battle, of course. That being said, I'm sure you could get there. It's but maybe a 2-week travel by foot for your kind. Just head that way and he points across the bridge and says it's that way.
Do you know any faster ways? We need to be there before the next... what's the next full moon?
So you have about 10 days, it seems. Perhaps
Probably
by
less
boat
than
you
we
could
back
get there more
before.
swiftly.
Huh?
I'm thinking boats might going to be our best way there. If we can get back to Summerside, take a boat.
Yeah, let's just teleport to Summerside and hire a boat.
Yep.
That would be the probably fastest way to circumvent the treacherous lands of Korsoth and their people. That and to just going straight from the from Summerside up to the Fractal Bay, probably straight to the quarry itself, and then just follow the mountain line along up to the crystal will probably get you there the fastest.
Yeah, and I can get us
Fractal Bay
a
looks
really
good,
nice.
but let's do this.
I can get us a nice fast boat once we get to Summerside.
All right, that's what we need to do then.
Yep. Captain
you guys
Arroyo owes me a favor, so.
stick around, or can we just? You guys can clean this up, right?
Yeah,
How much money do you guys? Would it be worth buying a boat? How much does the boat cost?
Depending on how drunk Captain Arroyo is, I just might buy him and the boat.
Okay.
It would help distribution efforts. That's for
Okay,
sure.
how much are boats?
We can expense it.
Depending on how big a boat you're wanting to go, like a sailing ship, they're about 10 grand, give or take. They go about 2 miles per hour.
Is there faster ones?
Long ships go 3 miles per hour, also about 10 grand. They are similar. Is there a picture? There's no picture for the difference. I don't know. One's just a long ship, one's a sailing ship. So one's probably a merchant vessel. A long ship's probably more of a
Viking ship.
more of a Viking ship. A warship is 25 grand. They go 2.5 miles per hour.
Long ship.
This is the one with 3 for 10.
I don't know. I feel like a warship has cannons.
I feel like I don't want to spend any more time on the water than I have to. I'd like to just get this done. This was kind of Rigby's thing anyway, and now Rigby's not even here, so we're running errands for Rigby's friend. And I'm already pissed off about it. So can we just go get this done?
The reward was pretty good though. It was that anti-magic device or whatever.
Okay.
That's true.
Butterfly.
I mean, I didn't say we're not going to do it. I just said I'm irritated that we're running errands for Rigby's friend and Rigby disappeared again.
I mean, I think anti-magic field is like an 8th level spell or something, so we could totally break Dane's game if he gave that to us.
Surely.
Do you guys think if we don't complete this that it's like the end of the world, or?
I don't know. She seemed pretty upset about having to get married, so we should probably just get this done.
Yeah. What? Well, I'm just home, and it's been a long journey. My dogs are barking. But, 10 days, it should be done.
Well, if you have teleportation circle, you can take the teleportation circle back to Grenwell. It'll probably take about 6-7 days by boat once you leave from Summerside.
Yeah. So we'll do that.
So you're still a few days ahead of schedule, even if you were to leave by boat from Summerside tomorrow. So you could even sleep here tonight if you wanted, and then go if you wanted. But you're just to replenish your, after using up all your inner strength.
Yeah, I'm completely out of spells too, unless I got them all back when I leveled up.
Sing-song spells popping along in your brain anywhere.
You would have gotten whatever spell, if you got another spell slot, you would have gotten that when you leveled.
Okay, so I would have enough to get us back.
Okay, so you want to go back to Summerside tonight and then rest there and then go, or
Rest there. Yeah. I say we teleport and then rest in the bed.
Yeah.
I want to go to the Red Sox.
unless anyone wants to do anything else here, then we'll teleport over to Summerside.
Well, I just want to say goodbye to my folks before I take off.
Better than the first time you left.
Yep. I'll be back. A couple weeks. I'll be back. I'll help you get rebuilt, or unless you're moving. Summerside's nice. I can help you.
Well, and you look around as you say that, and you notice that like around the home and like the surrounding areas is basically just charred ash, and like they put the fire out, but it was pretty well and good and burnt with dragon fire and other like evil elemental fire and stuff over time. So there's not a lot of jungle left in this direct like 2-3 mile radius. So they're probably gonna move or figure something out. They're not sure, that they haven't had time to really process or think about it. But luckily, nature is your mom's calling, and your dad is all about your mom, and your sister's good on her feet in the jungle, so they'll figure something out.
Before I go, I want to take out my feather token, and I will plant it in some sort of clearing, and a magical 60-foot tree with a 5-foot trunk in diameter just magically appears.
Am I supposed to react? Because I don't care. What about it?
Well, it's a giant tree in the middle of a charred used to be jungle. So.
What's it do though?
It's just a tree. It's just a nice big tree.
It was a nice thing for him to do. What do you mean? Are you supposed to care?
Yeah.
That was rude.
I know. But I'm just trying to
You
understand.
can climb it.
What's it from? Like, how do you make a tree?
I have a feather token that, when I plant it into the ground, becomes this. It's not a magical tree. The token is magical.
Where'd you get that from?
And I bought it somewhere. I think in Warren.
I don't remember that. Okay, no, that's fine. That looks cool. A giant ass oak tree appears.
Yep. I figured my family, since they live in the freaking woods, would really enjoy that.
They do like trees. Your mom especially
Yep.
seems thrilled.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Mom.
Your dad never liked the woods. He came here for mom. He was a city guy. Worked for the guard.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And lots of stories about the guard days.
Let's not get into it.
He's got a story for everything. What can we say?
All right. I'm gonna take my chalk out and start drawing all the sigils and stuff.
Okay, yeah. So after after you guys settled up there, you guys managed to make it back to Summerside. The circle that you had come from before was in Gunther's office, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
You'll appear there again.
All right, we should go break the news to the lady.
Yeah.
I'll tell Agnes that we found him and then lost him.
I'm gonna go get us a couple rooms down by the dock.
Okay, so you guys are in Summerside. I shared it with you. You've been here before, so you probably have some ideas of what you'd like to do. You've appeared inside the Nomenclature Institute, inside the old Professor Master Enchanter Gunther, who is the passed away dwarf that you lost, like you were telling about. You appear in his decent sized study. He's got different potion works and an alchemist lab and books and things strewn all over, some scrolls, a closet with like a wardrobe with some different like dwarf robes and stuff in it. And again, while you were here before, you did find those Corsothian symbols.
Yeah, I don't think whoever helped, I think it was just me and Jill Sara last time. Since Magvaris and Webb are here, let's do another investigation, since we now know that since we know more about what Gunther's going on. We could look around some more and figure out if we can find anything else with magic people here. That might be
Sorry, what are we looking for?
Do any of you speak Dwarven?
any of it, anything. Does anyone have a spell that'll let them?
I have comprehend languages.
Does that work for written text?
You understand the literal meaning of any spoken text. You also understand any written language that you see.
1 minute to read one page, and it lasts for an hour, so you can get about 60 pages of reading done. There are 3 books in Dwarven on the table, pretty good sized books. One appears to be a history book. One appears more recent, and then one is a little bit smaller, and it appears to be some sort of journal.
That.
So I'll cast that and start reading.
Okay. Are you gonna go to the docks, or are you gonna read this book?
I'll let them take care of it.
The docks. You're gonna read the book.
Yeah. Since I'm the only one that can.
Okay, that sounds good. As you're leaving, let's see. So you leave the Nomenclature. Who's leaving the Nomenclature Institute to head towards the? Are you gonna go to Port Sumner, or are you gonna go to Anchor Point? No, probably
sorry?
Port Sumner, because Anchor Point is smaller.
For what?
The docks.
We're gonna go to sleep first.
Oh, yeah. Our guy for sure operates out at Anchor Point.
No, I mean he wouldn't, because
kind of a
that's
shade
4
ball.
sailors or less. That's like little stuff.
Okay.
He would definitely be at the largest port, which is.
That's what I meant to say.
Darty runs it. It's Port Sumner.
Mm-hmm.
So where are you wanting to stay then for the evening?
Willow Coffers.
Okay, so you're gonna go stay at the Willow Coffers. It's a pretty cheap place to have a pint. It's kind of messy. Glick runs it.
Yeah, he'll give us a good deal.
Yeah, it's a super cheap kind of seedy bar. Of course he will. All right. So work out where you guys are going. Let me know kind of you know Summerside, and there's other things to be done here too still that we kind of did and didn't do.
Nothing
Just
that's
let me
gonna
know
get
how my
fixed
reading's
overnight.
going.
Yeah, I'll check back with you, Evan.
Okay.
I'm going to let Agnes know about Gunther.
Okay, so after a little bit of looking around for Agnes, you do find her, still her very strictly pulled back hair, very serious face, and she says, "Oh dearie me, you say he's dead? This will not do. We need someone to lead the enchantment school. It's at the large level of our institute is being able to teach and coach on enchantments, and I just don't think anyone's ready. Do you know any master
Also,
enchanters?
he's dead.
Oh well, we all die, dear. We all die. But do you know anyone that is an enchanter that could perhaps replace him? He's always kind of a bit of a lush, you know? Maybe somebody sober even? That'd be nice. She's very neutral about it all. She's like, oh, dear me,
This
that's...
is very clearly not the right thing for me to be doing, because I'm irritated that he's dead.
Yeah,
and
so you're like
irritated
angry.
that you're not.
Yeah, she doesn't care. She's like, oh, that sucks for the school.
Also, it sucks for everyone because of what he was doing when he died.
What do you mean?
So, well, the gemstone that he was researching and following leads up on is what ended up getting him killed. He was possessed when we found him.
Oh, wow. So you killed him, basically.
The demon killed him. We killed the demon.
I will speak with Master Ruckle and see if we can come up with a new enchanter. Are you still studying these artifacts, or what? Would you have them?
I do have them, and I don't plan on giving them up.
Oh, I don't want them.
Unrelated, do you know where I could find some sort of, like, I don't know, iron pot or vessel of some nature?
An iron pot, or like just a cauldron?
With a lid.
Oh, I'm sure that you could get one from the kitchens.
Alright, thanks. And that's...
Oh, downstairs, third door on the left, two hallways, and then a right.
Great, thank you. I'm gonna go get a pot from the kitchen.
Okay. There's a giant halfling in there, and when I say giant, I mean sideways, not up and down. And very, very.
Wait a
uncommon.
second. Like web size, or
Like twice to 3 times web size. Indecipherable as to whether it's a boy or a girl, because it's just too hard to see through all the rolls. But very happy to cook all the food. Has lots of food everywhere. It smells heavenly in there. The cinnamon rolls are to die for, and you can see that they are wearing a little on their top of their, collar from having tasted the samples. But you come in and they're happy to give you, a decent sized, coverable pot.
Cool.
Penny, you'd say you write down how big you want it to be and just make sure that's somewhere.
Thank
There's
you.
a few options, but you say, well, yeah, Agnes sent me. Agnes is happy to see you go. She's seemed a little nervous in your presence, considering you were fuming the entire time, and your reputation precedes you.
I'm irritated that she doesn't care that my kind of friend is dead.
Yeah, your kind of friend is dead, and he was missing for a while before he died.
But he was missing for a long time. You guys suck. Learning isn't everything. It makes you an asshole.
Mm.
Okay.
I just like to cook, my dear. I don't know why you're yelling at me.
Hey,
Sorry, I'm
Dane.
just venting.
Yes.
I sent you a text about roll and
Oh, good. I
status.
should look at it.
Yeah.
Okay. That is.
Perfect.
I'm gonna take the pot. I'm putting the wrapped stone, the pieces in the pot, and I'm going to bury the pot in the basement of the jerky store.
Okay.
I just don't want to carry it around, and I feel like if I can find a way to hide it away, then that's probably better until we're ready for it again.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to the temple and check in.
How do I add a pin on here? Isn't there a way to do that? Let me see. I have to unlock it probably. Yeah. How do I add a link, a pin link? Do I have to do it as like a note or something, right?
You have to unlock it to do that.
It's unlocked. I just do like notes. Yes, that's what I did.
Yeah.
What's the name of the store? Barbarian Bacon.
Yeah. Barbarian Bacon Jerky Shop. It's just a production facility, I think. I don't.
No, that's the storefront.
We might start having a storefront now that we've got the kids.
Oh, I've always had it as a storefront.
It was mostly just distribution because the taverns were distributing, we're selling it.
They've been the goblins have been trying to sell it to no avail. Let's just say that. But now that you have the boy there,
tracks.
maybe it'll help.
Junior.
Yep. So when you go back to the Barbarian Bacon store, the goblins go bananas. They're so happy to see you. There's 6 of them. They're jumping and they're squealing in Goblinese. Do you speak Goblinese?
I don't. Junior.
Junior, yeah, they're very pissed, but they're happy to see you. They say I'm a slave driver, just because I tell them this place has to stay clean. I can't handle the mess. Every time I turn around, they're very messy. I've got it under control. Thank you for the opportunity. It's been an absolute nightmare, but I am here for it.
Well, I will give them the dragon steaks. They can eat them, I guess. I don't care about the jerky if that's going to increase morale. And then some of it we can turn into jerky, but they can eat some of it too. So.
Absolutely. So you put the dragon meat down, a couple slabs of it, and they're going bananas. They go ape shit. They fucking slap that on the grill. One of them starts eating half of a raw one. They're fighting over it, knocking each other over. A pot falls. One of the stoves gets knocked over. A small fire starts. The biggest goblin kind of puts it out with his butt. And it's just a whole big mess. But eventually, after they've eaten, 6 out of the 8 of them that have now shown up are asleep. And 2 of them start to wander around, pushing a broom upside down throughout the area, not doing a great job cleaning. And the boy just kind of, you can tell Junior's face gets red. He's breathing heavy, and he's like, serenity now,
For sure.
But he says, welcome back. Obviously things are well. And to be fair, the shop does look really good. The produce is good. He's even got some bacon wrapped breads and things like that he's come up with.
And he got paid very well.
Oh yeah,
so.
he's fine. He's just, the stress of being in charge is not something he was necessarily ready for, but he is here.
You're doing great, and I appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
I'm gonna run down to the basement. I'll be back. We
Okay.
just hang out here. I'm gonna go do things.
And there's a shovel down there from when you guys had to do stuff, so that's fine. All right, so she's there. Evan's reading. You were going with Calcine, Tim, and I think you were too, weren't you, Cam?
No, I was going to the temple.
Oh, you're going to the temple. Okay.
I was gonna run over to the Killick Fair and shop a little bit for some more arrows and such, and see if I can come across anything. I don't, but I try. And I'm gonna stay over at the Overboard parlor and play some cards.
Where'd you go? The last place?
The Overboard parlor. It's in Capsize. It's off of Keeper's Hill.
Oh, I see it. Okay. Okay. Cool. So you're gonna go gamble away your money or play games for a while.
I'm gonna win a lot of money. Thank you.
So give me an investigation check and a perception check, Cam. Tim, you get while you're doing that, Cam. Tim, you get to the temple and it is complete. It's only been a couple days. The 2 towers are up. There's a large sun flag that hangs behind the towers to represent the symbol of your deity. There is the same kind of snooty, totally like Catholic, like Pope type vibe guy there, Cardinal type vibe there, who has been running it before. Still very snooty, but he sees you and he bows. He's like, have you thought about our offer to run the temple here as head of this installment? The people, they love you, and it'd be great to welcome you openly into the organization of the actual church and not just the worship side.
Yeah, I already said no to this.
Well, be blessed. Perego loves all his children, and though you will not follow in the way of the church's teachings and spread the word in a more modern facility than just on the streets of your travels, we do accept your choice, and I will continue as such. Do you perhaps come with a donation for Perego and his people, his flock?
Is the church in need?
The church, its hands run deep and through the entirety of the city to help all. So therefore, of course, the church can always put any funds allocated to the church to be allocated to the people.
Have you found a healer?
There is a healer. An older man came and said he had found his way through your teachings, in fact, which is why I braved myself. I steeled my soul to request that you join our journey in teaching the people here in the actual institution versus on the traveling of the way. But as I know, Gond calls to you and you travel. I understand the travel bug. That being said, this elder gentleman seems ripe with power directly from Perego's grace.
Good. Yeah, no, this is because I hired I hired a healer to take my place, or I put a notice up to have the adventuring society hire a healer for you, in my absence.
I've not seen anyone from that, but this older gentleman seems to be well on his way to being an accomplished healer in the name of Perego.
By the way, that would have only been a few days ago because
I know. The temple was half done a day ago, and it's finished today. They Egyptian pyramided that thing.
This sounds like the kind of person I'd be interested in meeting.
He says he's met you. But he's, of course, please enter the foyer and go through the great hall he is back in the dormitories beyond. We accept but humble living quarters as patriarchs or men of the cloth of Perego's temple. You go back and search through the dormitories. He has one of the serving boys kind of lead you, and eventually you go to a room, and inside the room you see a probably almost 70-ish-year-old human male that you recognize as the blind man that you cured. That when you had come out of I believe the arena at one point, or maybe it was the institute over by the institute. Maybe it was, but you healed him in Perego's name.
And his dog started following me around.
And Waggles started following you around, and he kind of he notices you when you come in, and you come in, and he looks up and he sees, oh, blessed is Perego, you've returned to me, and my dog. Have you seen my dear boy?
I'm gonna pull the dog corpse out of my bag.
Oh no!
Waggles!
Waggles, why?
I'll cast Raise Dead on Waggles.
Waggles, what am I to do? He was always such
alive.
a good dog.
He's alive now. I just cast Raise Dead on him.
Holy Christ. You are truly powerful in the name of Perego. I will continue to honor you and work in his name. Thank you, Lord Magvaris. You truly are a saint.
Keep up the good work. You're doing well here.
His eyes shine, and he looks healthier than he's actually dressed in not rags. He's got a simple white cloth robe on with a single rope tied around the waist and a pouch on his rope belt. And the dog obviously waggles, comes to life, and does like some like zoomies and backflips and roll arounds and stuff. Blinks across the room a few times, and then settles down at the foot of the elderly man's bed. Returned home. You gain inspiration, which you already have, but it's gone, so you get it back. Cool. And then Cameron, how'd you do?
I did well. 21 perception, 29 investigation.
Perfect. So on entering the establishment, a gambling den of sorts, it is filled to the brim with hookah smoke. Lots of different clouds of vapors and things pollute the air. There are 4 different tables. 2 have dice, 2 have cards, and there are about 20 to 25 people milling around in the room, both of male and female variety. You notice immediately that the women are on the clock, and there are a few boys or men as well on the clock. Doing what they can to earn their own wages, however they've been told. That, and you also notice too that of the 4 tables, one is definitely the dealer of one of the card tables is 100% cheating. The patrons of the establishment of their hard-earned coin. You notice it immediately. You also notice there's a false floor behind the bar. When you sit at the bar to get to take the place in, you notice there's a carpet over what appears to be a trapdoor that is badly, like not badly covered, but badly covered for your role.
The last time I went through a secret door, nothing happened. So I'm not sure I want to go down any more secret doors.
I understand. I'm just letting you know that, and there's somebody standing over it. It's not like you could just open the secret door and go down it because it's like a busy tavern with a bunch of people in it, like a busy game house with a bunch of people in it, and a person literally standing on this rug that is somehow shuffled over just enough for you to notice this crack, and your elven ears tingle with like your spidey sense of there's a trapdoor kind of go
spidey
off.
sense. Yeah. All right. Cool. I'm gonna stick to cards and not play at the table with the cheater.
Okay.
So that way I can make a little bit of money, get a little bit drunk, and just keep an eye on the cheater. And then, eventually I'm going to whisper into the players' ears that are playing with the cheater, hey, watch your card taking you to a lot of money.
So you're gonna
sneak
go
out
over to
and
that
go-
table and whisper to like the 4 people that are there individually, hey, like this guy's cheating, you should leave.
I kind of just like lean in to around them and heads up, you've been fooled.
Okay.
And then I punch the guy in the face and go through the trap door and nothing happens. Just kidding, I'm not doing that last part.
She said it. I heard her. Okay, so only one of them actually believes you, and the card dealer kind of gives you a dirty look, and you notice he like kind of waves to the bartender, who kind of taps their heel on the trap door.
All right.
But you
I
sit
don't know
down
what
at the
to do
other
with that.
card. Yeah, you don't know. So you're like, oh yeah, that happened. So that's fine. So you're like, I'm gonna go sit down at the card table. You sit down at the card table. They deal you in. It's a card game of 9 cards that you're relatively familiar with, and I'll just have you do an intelligence check to see if you play your hand well.
So I'm back to playing cards again. Okay. All right. Well, let's do this. I don't think I'm doing the right one here. That's not right.
Oh, it's on the
It's
left.
On the main page, right? The abilities.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it says intelligence. You'll just double click on it.
I tried to do it. It's just freezing up. Hang on a second. Try it again. There we go. All right. So 19.
You win your first hand and pocket 7 gold.
Beautiful. All right. Well, I'm feeling good about that. I'm going to continue to play for a little bit, but I'd like to go and talk to that bartender who we made eyes with.
You want to play another hand first, or do you want to go talk to him first?
Play another hand.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on fire here, so gotta make a little bit of money. Do I need to roll again?
Yes. Sorry.
You're rolling some stuff over there. So.
I know. I'm just getting ready for your roll.
All right.
Holy,
well, 21.
You win 9 gold.
All right. Oh, this is why I'm not good in Vegas.
Third time again, or you want to do one more hand, or you're going to go talk to the bartender?
I'm going to go talk to the bartender.
Okay, the bartender is to you, probably young to middle-aged elven lady with dark black hair. You're pretty sure she's full high elf, based on just the way she stands and is kind of aloof and just looks. She, as you approach, she smiles coldly and says, "Can I get you another drink?"
Absolutely, make it a double. I slide a little bit of extra gold her way. Appreciate the hands in my favor here. Not trying to mess up any business that you guys have going on. In fact, I might like to play a hand in that too if I can.
Give me
what
a
would that look
persuasion
like?
check. That's on your skills tab.
Yep, that's what I'm going. Well, I'm real low at that. I actually mean it though. The 9. Is there a genuine roll?
You have the lucky feat.
Oh, I have the lucky one. Yeah, but it's going to be sucky either way.
You're gonna get arrested before you have to use that.
So, you're talking to her.
Okay. You're right. I'm going to use my lucky. How do I do that? So I go to my actions.
You just click one of those dots off and roll again.
Yeah, cool. Sorry, first time using it.
Perfect.
My dog farted next to me, and it's the worst thing since death, as if I died once before. Get out of here. Go away.
The bartender says, you seem to be a relatively perceptive, if unconventional, lady. Perhaps we could come to some sort of arrangement in which we would all benefit.
What would that look like?
Let me see if my partner would be interested in discussing with you, as I'm kind of keeping things afloat up here right now. And she slides over and starts to serve a couple people who had stepped up. About 5 minutes later, a 5.5-ish foot tall, red-haired human with a kind of scraggly goatee comes over and leans up against the bar and says, "So, you come here often?"
I sure do.
Oh, I've never seen you around.
First time, but we're back in town. I'm here quite often. You may know who I am. I'm pretty famous. Not really. I'm the one that hides in the shadows, but I'm Jill Starhawk.
We know things about the shadows here. The name Jill Starhawk, though not as loudly spoken around these ways as some of the others of your organization. You are known to me. That being said, Melody had mentioned that perhaps some business could be brought together between us. Do you have something in mind, or?
Well, I think that you have a pretty well-established organization going on here. I think I'd like to get involved, potentially, as an investor, but I'd like to know more about it.
It's just your standard card and dice haul. A few, side ventures as well. You say invest. Is there a dollar sign behind how much you're thinking you could afford to put on the way? And what kind of return would you be looking for it to make sense?
I think that could vary. It depends what kind of potential you think there is possible. So I think I'd have at least 1,000 gold to put on the line.
I could easily come up with a way to turn that 1,000 into 12 or maybe 1,400, I imagine.
Well, perhaps. That seems a little lower than I expected out of an operation like this.
Of course, there's just operating expenses, you see, and I'm sure you understand. It's not a one-man show. There are many fingers already currently in the pot, and a return like that for just putting gold up and not having to actually play a part in said ventures is more than most could even ask for, if you ask me. And now, if you'd like to get your, toes in the water or your hands a little dirty, as they say, maybe something else could be arranged.
What would that look like?
That would look like a conversation not here, or at least not at this time. Perhaps we could meet for brunch before the establishment opens tomorrow?
Perhaps. Let's
Which
plan
you,
on that.
of course, know that you're leaving first thing in the morning.
Yeah, well, maybe I'll leave you hanging. So we'll have to meet at another time. But I think this is something worth thinking over. So I appreciate your time, and I'll be leaving town and be back in a few days. So we'll talk more then. Remember my name.
My lady, please, don't let me scare you off with just trifles. Perhaps, being that you are so well known in these parts, perhaps we could buy, per gold come half a gold again. So 5 silver on the dollar. If we could do such an arrangement, would the 1,000 gold come in and be left, with the establishment to earn for you while you're on your way out of town? I'm sure making money for just an investment is ideal compared to leaving and having nothing extra when you can return.
Did she just fear of loss him?
Yes.
Well, hey,
You sneaky saleswoman.
you gotta be a little bit of a seller, right? In reverse psychology world here. All right. Well, I think I might consider that. I tell you what, we'll give this a shot. I'll go ahead and invest this time. I'll be back in a few days. We'll see what we come up with, and at that point, if the return is real, then maybe I have more to put on the table for you to continue to grow this venture.
Absolutely, a wise choice, my lady. A wise choice indeed. I'll see you then in a few days or a week or two. We're not sure.
I'll be back in no more than a week. Have the gold ready for me then.
I think a week is a fair amount of time to figure out exactly what your investment could hold. I appreciate your trust in this matter, and I will work hard and fast to bring this to fruition for you.
Don't mistake me. We don't have trust yet, but you can earn it.
And that I shall. Be well, my lady. He's kind of creepy.
Yeah, you played that well. Seemed very natural.
Wow.
Like it. Just kidding.
So, Max, Roland is banging around the docks looking for some work. And it's pretty dry right now. Not a lot of ships coming in and out. It is kind of the harvest season coming to a close. Most of the ships have already, loaded up and hired hands. There is one sea captain by the name of... What's his name, Evan?
Captain Arroyo.
Whatever he just said.
Yep.
Captain Arroyo.
Sure.
Who doesn't have much going on. He's not really a merchant vessel so much as just a kind of a speedier fisherman's boat. He's older dude, been known to do some fishing more than anything. He says he doesn't really need any help per se, but he'd be happy to keep his eye open for something for you.
All right, thank you, Captain. I appreciate it.
From there, is there somewhere else in town that Roland feels he should go?
I don't know. Maybe check the dagger board and see if there's any jobs. We'll say that he's kind of like new in town, kind of came in from somewhere else and is just
already part of the Adventurers Guild, though.
He is?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well then.
So you would know the dagger board is a place of respite for you, a place where you could get things to do, and that you could sleep there, you could get equipment there.
Right. Yeah, that sounds fine. Just looking for adventure.
Okay. Perfect. So you go to the dagger board. Obviously, Stu is there. We know how Stu does. He stays there. Stu doesn't recognize you instantly, but you go in and you're welcomed, and he says, yes, welcome to the dagger board. What brings you to the Summerside version of the guild today?
Well, looking for some work. You see, I've been traveling long and far, and my resources are a bit scanty, and I'm hoping to take up with some adventurers and find some plunder and make some riches.
I don't recognize you, so you're not from here, and you say you're short on coin. Is there, are you known? Are you known anywhere to where perhaps I could find a worthy adventuring party that would match and suit with what you're capable of?
Well, I'm not sure if tales of my exploits have come this far, but my name is Roland, and I'm a legendary mercenary. And perhaps I could show you performance of what I'm able to do.
Yeah, Roland, never heard of you. Legendary, you say? Well, yeah, I mean, I'd be happy to see this performance. Perhaps it would spark a memory. I mean, legendary, I tend to know many of the legendary class mercenaries and such, as I am one of the, guild head post leaders.
So Roland starts like awkwardly like trying to push some tables out of the way, clear a little bit of space on the floor, and then he dons his shield and he takes out his flail and he starts like doing like a stomp, like beating on his shield and like he's getting a rhythm going, and he does this whole like little like dance, like he's attacking and fighting, and like at one point you hear like the sounds of battle, and then at the end he does a little like minor illusion and it says in the air it says Roland, legendary mercenary for hire.
Oh. And at the end of your show, Stu just starts clapping. He's like, I realize from your story now exactly who you are. You're Roland, the legendary mercenary for hire, and he seems completely bewitched by your performance. And he says, I know the perfect crew that if they're accepting members would be delightful for you to join, as they too are quite close to legendary. In fact, news has already traveled from just this day that they've slain a giant beast in the prowling jungle, a dragon of the red variety, larger than any seen in recent years.
So perhaps they are my equal, and they perhaps they would appreciate my protection on their next venture.
This could truly be so. I don't know when they're coming back. News travels quickly between the towers of the Daggerboard, as you may well know, being a legendary mercenary of the Daggerboard variety. But I feel that they should be here within a few days at the least. I got a crow recently that told me the news. I'm dear friends with the elven bishop of the Copus Temple, and she has spoken through memory stone, or what's it called, message stones to the mother of the estate, and mentioned that all was well and the dragon was destroyed. So that is how I know of it. She did mention they were to come here. I'm not sure by which way. You're welcome, of course, to stay with the normal fee at the Daggerboard, and rest your weary traveled legs, and shine your equipment and make sure that it is oiled and ready for your next exciting journey.
All right.
Cool.
Sounds good.
All right, Megan.
Is Roland a human?
He's a half elf.
I'm sorry, Roland, not Stu. Yeah, Roland's a half elf.
You said my name.
Yes, Megan, you finish burying the pot, slap the dirt over it on top of the pot in the ground. It sprouts into a bunch of green leafy treasures. I'm just kidding. Pot.
To be clear, it's still wrapped separate. Like the pieces are still separately wrapped, but it's inside the pot under the ground now.
Yep. So you've got an iron pot with a lid on it, and you've got two separately wrapped godstones inside the pot underneath your guys' hard-earned business front. I say front because I'm sure that Jill Sarah is going to find a way to use it to launder money at some point.
This is not a money laundering facility. She can do her ill-gotten gains somewhere else.
Not yet. And then Tim, you're still at the temple.
Wait, question though about that. The good point that out of character. It's a good thought that perhaps we could get paid for slaying a dragon by the Daggerboard. So maybe I should head over there and see if there's any reward to be collected.
Okay. Tim?
Apparently I just heard that my money that I paid the adventurer or the Daggerboard went to waste because they never sent a healer, so I'm going to go take that up with them.
Oh, that makes sense. I would probably check in on that as well. And then, Evan, you're reading this dwarven journal, and it details pretty thoroughly his process of how he looked these gems over, how he tested them for different magics, and how he did a barrage of different enchantments on them to see what they would do. And he was dumbfounded in the sense that inside the gem itself appears to be a coating of anti-magic. But on the outside is a powerful entrapment enchantment. So at some point in time, the inside was essentially shielding whatever was kept inside it from being able to use magic. But then it was broken, and whatever was inside may have escaped, is what he kind of puts together in his journal over the 30, 40 minutes that you've been reading it. Eventually, he says, I think in order for me to... He basically said, I'm going to go and try and find the rest of the pieces for it, because I think if I put it back together, I could perhaps find out even more about how it works.
So, question, and you might have already answered this before, but what we left with him, do we now have a bigger part of the gem than we had before?
You now have 2 full halves versus it was like a third, and the other third was shattered, and it's now just 2 halves. Like, it doesn't look like it's been stitched back together in any way, but somehow shape.
But we have the whole gem now.
You've got the whole gem now.
Got it. Okay.
So he did manage to get it back to 2 halves, and he may have managed to get it back together, but then something happened and he was possessed.
Sure.
This is probably the best you can ascertain from not a lot of more knowledge I had.
Anything else I glean from his books or journals or?
He was looking into the other 2 dwarven books that are there are ancient dwarven texts about an old magic stone that would power a city. The Korsoth is said to run on the power of a similar stone to what the one that you guys have is. It's a dark bluish green stone that dwarves of old, at some point in time, their wizards banded together and harnessed its power to essentially electrify their city with lighting and even other kind of more modern type functions in the crystal.
I'll take those books with me.
Okay. They called that
And
one.
I'm
They
gonna-
called the other one the Power Stone because it generated massive amounts of energy.
Well, Webb's a power bottom, so he gets it. Now we're gonna get some churros for the road, so I need to go by the churro store.
Okay. The Barbarian Bacon Shop is closer and on the way, and his son works there, and they do keep a stock of your other business there.
Oh well, bust my buttons.
Digging the hole took some time, so as you pull up and you get your churros at the discount, which is probably free since you're partial owner, I think.
Yep.
And Megan may have words of contention for that. Kelsey would be like, I don't know that he actually has any viable interest in this business. But that being said, she as you're kind of finishing your first churro and you're looking at the other 6 you have in your package, she kind of pops out of the basement a little dusty and with a consternated look on her face, like she's deep in thought, but she almost runs you over as she walks out, since she's 6 foot something and you're 2 foot nothing. You guys bump into each other essentially.
You trying to kill me?
Didn't see you there. Should have known you'd be here. That's on me.
Well, that's all right. I just came to. I got nothing. I came for some churros.
All right. Well, I'm headed to the dagger board. I feel like we should get paid for killing that dragon. What do you think?
That's a good idea. Yep. There's got to be some sort of bounty on it.
Sure. I suppose you can come with me. Would you mind coming with me? I feel like you're just gonna eat me out of stock at this point. Perhaps we should just go.
Well, it's kind of our stock, but yeah, we can eat and walk. Let's go.
Okay. So you guys are eating and walking. You imbibe in a couple of churros as well while you're walking?
More savory. Looking for more of a savory type. Perhaps like a bacon flavored churro or something.
Mm-hmm. They have the bacon and hummus one.
Sounds terrible.
All right, you guys make it to the dagger board. Roland's at the dagger board. You're near the dagger board because you're at the temple already, Tim. But you're going to the dagger board, so you're going to get there too. Jilsara, you're going to eventually bored of winning money. Do you want to play some more hands or go anywhere else or do anything else?
No, I'm going to want to sleep eventually, so I need some more days to go on so I can get my elephant back. That's really what Jilsara is counting down towards. When can I get my elephant back? Ridiculous.
3 days.
Days are dragging on.
Wait, how many days is it for you?
It's a
It's
week
been
and 7
2.
days.
After this long rest, it'll have been 3.
So many more
right.
to make.
Getting closer. All right, so you all end up eventually back at the dagger board, sitting in the dagger board lounge, with a few of the tables kind of pushed out of the way, but off to the side is a half-elven fellow polishing up a shield, a rather decent-looking steel shield, as well as his half-plate or full-plate armor.
Yeah, so you wouldn't immediately recognize that he's a half-elf because he does wear a great helm.
Are you wearing that while you polish your gear in the dagger board, or?
Yeah, I very rarely take it off.
Okay. Man, this is the way.
He's always ready.
I probably would be polishing my shield. It's got like a gold crest with some blue enameling on the front. It looks like a pretty nice shield. I'm wearing full plate armor and with a little socket near the heart with a polished agate in the shape of a cat's head stuck onto the armor. And leaning up against the wall is my flail, spiky ball on the end of a chain, my preferred weapon, and just hanging out waiting for some action.
Can I roll insight to recognize the armor?
It'd be history.
History? That's not as good. No, 21.
It's a 20. You could lay it on him. Enjoy yourself, Max. Lay it on him. I don't know shit about your armor.
The armor itself is not that fancy, but I don't know if he would recognize the stone. It's a luck stone.
Oh, so that'd be Arcana.
Yeah. The armor is just mundane.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know. I mean, it looks like the stone itself is special. You don't really recognize it as what it is. Is the crest on your shield, is that historical at all?
I don't know. I haven't thought that far ahead.
Okay. Well, think about it, and when you get there, let us all know, because Tim would love to know more about you.
Okay, it's just a fancy-looking shield.
Okay, so yeah, there's no history behind it.
Actually, I do have a thought about that. It's some kind of dwarven crest. Seems to be of dwarven manufacture.
Of course it is. Okay. You and Evan are playing the same way.
Are we not all asking why there's a cat on it?
Because meow, obviously.
Okay. I like it.
You can.
I'm paying very little attention to the guy in the armor. Armor doesn't really do it for me.
Oh, and Roland is about 5'5". He's not a tall guy.
He looks like a giant to me.
It looks like really clean armor too, and that means that, to me, if his armor is that clean, then he's not really doing anything in said armor. So it's just for looks. So I'm just gonna kind of pay him 0 mind because I'm Calcine. And I'm going to walk straight up to Stu and be like, Stu, my man.
Speak of the
I'm going to do my best at
here.
Sweet talking him without charisma.
Afternoon, Stu. Good to see you.
Funny story, Black Star. I was just discussing it. And it's funny because all of you just happen to appear there within moments of each other. It just seems like all your affairs got wrapped up. Besides Roland, who's been here for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. All the rest of you just happen to finish what you're doing and kind of meander into the dagger board around the same time, just in time for Stu to say, "Aha! Welcome back to the dagger board, Black Star. Obviously, it's been a little time, but happy to see you. Magvaris, I unfortunately could not find anyone that was still alive to heal. It appears that the clerics of Perego have been suffering fate worse than death in some instances here recently, and anyone with the ability to truly heal that was willing to sit in for you has just not been someone I've been able to find, in connection to the dagger board. So here is your money back.
That sounds like a bit of a concern. Who's attacking the Lord's Chosen?
I agree, but there's no missive, or there's no quest up for that. No one's requested anyone to look into that, and there's no dagger board opportunity there, so I don't know what
I'm
else.
requesting it now then. Take the money and then investigate.
And how much money was this again? Do you remember?
It was like 480 gold.
480. Top him off for another 20 then? 500 minimum?
Sure. 500. That'll work.
All right. So he says, okay, well, there it is. And he writes on a scroll and slaps it on their little board, and it's like, hey, who's killing Perego's priest? What the F? Find out. 500 gold reward.
I didn't pull the missive off the board and put it on the table.
I'm gonna do this one. That's awesome. Okay, I can dig it. Very nice. And he's like, very good. Black Star is on the job, Magvaris. Worry not. I'm sure they have an astounding record, in fact.
What a terrible quest to take. We're putting our own reward. Shit.
Working for free.
Yeah. You could leave it up there for the lower level, not Black Star minions to figure out at least. And once they end up dead and don't come back, maybe we'll know more.
Stu, any of the other temples had issues with healers?
Yeah, that's a great question. The Kappas temples, haven't been having as many initiates come through. It seems like they're, even though there's supposed to be some being sent from all the areas of land where they can come and see the majesty of the bishop's temple tree, they haven't been making the journey and making it by sea or land. So, perhaps, but no one's requested anything from the dagger board at this time, so I don't know. I haven't investigated much, and I haven't been told much, and how that goes. However, since you do ask about those, asking for things, this gentleman here, was it Lord Roland? I'm afraid.
Just Roland is fine. The legendary mercenary.
He's a legendary mercenary who I've definitely heard of, who is actually looking to tag along with a more local group as he's come from far off. And I thought, being that he is quite legendary, and hearing of the tragic loss of Zeus of the Crown, and then, of course, Rigby's disappearance. I heard this from your mother, of course, Mrs. Winterthorn, a lovely being. Who I also don't know, but I did hear it through the bishop who had heard, the story,
Cardinal Santana, yeah.
That being said, he is quite able and quite bored of city life and would like to do some traveling. If you would like, he could come on as a temporary basis as perhaps Gray Star until he darkens his star to the level of Black. Though he's legendary, is not proven against your crew, so I know in that instance perhaps you'd like to let him test the waters before you fully accept him into the ranks of the Star unit.
I walk up slowly and very deliberately to Roland. And I just look up at him and I stare. And then I say, Churro.
What? Why, yes, it looks delicious. Thank you. And Roland...
And I wait for him to take a bite.
Well, I'm wearing my helmet, so I'm going to just put it in my bag for now.
You better eat that.
All right then.
You better eat that.
If you insist.
Don't waste those churros.
Roland takes his great helm off, and as soon as it clears the top of his head, you can see a huge amount of long, jet black, straight hair that goes down to his ass, basically. Spills out of the helmet.
It just falls out and goes.
Yeah,
uncurls.
and it looks perfect because I'm a half elf. And then I start eating the churro.
What do you think?
It's pretty good. Thank you.
All right, he's in.
I like him.
I can assure you, I'm a capable fighter and an adequate magician as well.
You can certainly follow directions. So
After he says that, I'm gonna make a check on that gem or whatever's on his necklace.
The what?
Armor.
The little gem thing that you said was
Arcana.
I
Arcana.
think that's enough to at least know what it is.
Yeah, I rolled a
it's,
20.
it's just a stone of good luck. It's an uncommon magic item. It's not that
Okay.
special.
Special, but not that special.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay.
All right. Well, yeah, sure. That's fine. Our crew has thinned out. We'll see how it works out. That's probably fine. We actually were, I don't know if you were aware about the dragon in the Prowling Jungle. Did we talk about this?
The dragon sounded like a wonderful adventure. Exactly the kind of thing I'm looking for.
Sure. Webb here lost like half his family and his childhood home, but it was wonderful adventure. I'm learning how to be an asshole from Magvaris. So we're here. Was there a bounty maybe to be collected for that dragon? We have proof of death. Should that be necessary? We're just looking to.
I pull the hat out of the bag of holding.
Oh, nice! You do slap it down. So he opens the tome of the guild, and it's a pretty good sized tome. And he like flips through it, and he's like, see, I'm looking through here, and it doesn't look like any of you are up to date on your dues. I know you have it, so if you wanted to just go ahead and settle
The
up
hell
your
I'm
dues.
not. I paid my dues because I deposited my money in here.
Hang on. He flips a couple pages. Yes. One of you are up to date on your dues.
I gave them my crossbow. That was mine.
Yes, it's been some time.
Good thing you've
That
got
was-
records, huh, Stu?
He's like, yeah, sorry, it's such a large book, it's hard to keep track, but the crossbow is, I mean, it's okay. Do you happen to have anything else you'd like to, obviously tithe to the guild? We do have to keep the doors open somehow.
What? How much?
Oh, just gold? I mean, magic items are preferred.
We didn't pick up any magic items this time.
Yeah, I'll give him my staff of healing because I'm not gonna use that really.
The staff of healing?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, throw it in the party chat.
All right. My crossbow's still in there.
I know, I'm just leaving it. Okay, yeah, this staff of healing looks very nice. I think this will do very nicely indeed. I will be for sure to use this towards your tithing, Magvaris. Appreciate you as usual. You are quite generous, and the guild thanks you for your patronage and whatnot. He looks
Ilsara
around.
whispers you should have given the baby dragon.
What's that?
Ilsara whispers that you should have given the baby dragon. A little fake dragon.
Oh, that's still flying around in the woods with the Slammerina.
Oh yeah.
You never know where he's at.
He's around. You'll wake up and he'll be in your pouch. Now I will. He looks at Webb and at Jilsara. Says, so about your tithing. And did you
Webb
want to have
waddles
the
up to
head
Stu.
mounted here at the guild?
No.
I think we'll keep that with us.
Yeah, I think that should be say with that. I was thinking there's a nice spot on the wall in the storefront. Would really help with the brand. But that's another conversation for another time. No, we're not mounting that here.
Webb waddles up to Stu and says, we can't be responsible if this kid dies. We've already lost like 40% of our party.
So what are you saying?
Well, I don't really know what we're doing. Does this kid know what he's doing?
Who?
He's
Roland?
rolling.
You already accepted him into the party.
Well, I got excited in front of the churro, okay?
Also, Roland is 47 years old.
Yeah, but they don't know. You have elf blood. It's hard to tell.
I guess that's true.
Also, Webb doesn't care. He's
You just
gonna
look
say
like a
whatever the
giant.
fuck he wants.
Okay.
All right. So Dulsara is going to take one of her many magic arrows and slam it into the table. Point in. Here you go. There's your tide.
Okay. I see that the generosity doesn't necessarily run through all of Black Star. But I understand. Perhaps you didn't come across anything worth donating to your lovely local guild. So I'll take this as just an homage to the donations and the tithing that the guild requires. And as for you, Mr. Winterthorn, though I know you've lost much of your childhood home, you personally haven't lived there for a number of years, if I recall. So did you have something you were open to tithing to the Daggerborn?
Yep. I get out these 3 potions. I got 2 potions of poison resistance and 1 of animal friendship.
Okay. Again, a nice step in a direction. So I can let me look through some of these. He takes the potions. He takes the 1 arrow, and he puts them under the counter, kind of with a scolding parent look on his face, ugh, God, these damn kids, But after a
I'm
little
not
bit
the
of time,
only asshole in the room.
he slides the tome away. And he pulls out another one. He starts looking through it, and he goes to the very back, and there's a 400-year-old scroll with a wanted dead giant red dragon poster on it. And the reward is 4,000 gold and 1 magic item.
Bet.
So I will add the 4,000 gold.
Who's being cheap now? Let's go.
Well, Stu, now I feel bad. Here's another.
We all
potion.
forgot about this red dragon in the back. No big deal.
In the back of the book. Well, he's just making sure that you have to be up to date on your tithing. You can't just
Right. They won't let you shop at Costco if your card's expired.
Roland is going to say something like, Stu, I suppose I owe you something of a finder's fee for connecting me with Black Star. I'm a bit light on funds, but perhaps you could take this as a promise of future deposits, and I'll give him 20 gold pieces.
Okay. Yeah, just take it off. That's fine. He's like, yes, of course, Roland. A warrior of your caliber is so rare that we are just honored that you would even come to Summerside's guild to grace us with your excellenceness, you legendary man, you. The 20 gold is obviously good for now, as you've just come to town, and as you told me earlier, we're looking to essentially reclaim your fortune. So I'll just expect great things from you, and the name of the guild will continue. Oh, and by the way, just in case you were curious, as the word of you killing the dragon spread, your notoriety went up, and you now have advantage on persuasion checks with shopkeepers to haggle them down in Summerside and in Morzanth.
That's cool.
So that's kind of nice.
And soon the world.
And you have also have advantage on intimidation checks if you have it as a class skill against brigands and the like.
Wait, does that include me?
I mean, if you get upgraded from Gray Star to Black Star, then yes. Okay. But they are the original 4 at this point, as we lost Madam Zayas.
I took expertise in intimidation, so
you get it anyway. You're like, I definitely need to have bangs on his shield, slaps it with his flail. You better run, motherfucker. All right. So cool. So we come to a close there, and you guys can rest at the dagger board or your whatever establishments you're wanting. Unless there's anything else for tonight, we can wrap up this evening's processions inside the dagger board, get you your full rest, and then pick up a boat in the morning. Or did you want to pop by the docks ahead of time and secure the vessel?
Yeah, I'll go secure the vessel.
So you say that to the team, and Roland, you hear him say, I'll go see if I can secure a vessel. And you know instantly he's speaking of a ship.
So Roland is going to say, I met a friendly captain down there earlier today. Captain Royal? What was his name?
Oh, Royo, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Smells like fish.
Yes, he had a very strong
Kind of looks
odor.
like a fish too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's who I was getting ready to see if he's down there. So that's good to know he is there. So let's go. If you want to go with me, you can. I got a couple extra churros.
Oh yes. Please, could I have
You have
another?
to leave that helm off.
In order to eat
You
the
gotta
churros.
get helmets.
He likes to see who he's eating his churros. Likes the way his mouth moves.
The weird thing.
Well,
about
I don't know. You might have one of the little flaps that open up.
Visor?
No, this
I don't
one
know.
doesn't have a visor. It's just like a solid chunk.
Just like your picture on in the game.
Exactly.
Nailed it. Okay, so you guys go down there, and he's like, yeah. I mean, honestly, I was just gonna go fish tomorrow. I'll be happy to run you to Korsoth. They're not the greatest place to go. I don't particularly like to go there, but I mean, for the right price, I'm sure we can arrange something. What were you thinking?
Well, since I helped you with your last fishing run, I figured you might be able to help us out here on the rate.
Well, if we're being honest, which I know you always are, wink. I was kind of hoping you'd forgot about that, considering it's been a rough year. I really could use a little something.
Yeah. Well, what are you thinking?
How many travelers?
Just 5 of us.
And is it? Do you think it'll be dangerous?
No, not at all. Just a straight straight shot there, and you can head right back. You don't even have to wait on us.
I'd say 600 gold should suffice.
600.
Now, Webb, I've heard of you and your Black Star unit. I know well what you.
No, I understand that, but it costs a lot
Advantage of persuasion.
to do that. So
Just wanna use it,
600.
you know?
I could do it for 3.
All right, give me an advantaged persuasion check to haggle down. Royale.
Poor man.
$1,000,000.
33.
33.
You know what, Webb? You're right. I
Million.
owe you one, and I am happy to just get you there. Perhaps we could fish on the way back to make up what we need. And you just keep your money and remember that old Royale's been here for you when you needed him most.
I really appreciate
And
that,
keep that
Royal.
other business. He kind of looks at the half elf with the helmet under his one arm and the churro in his side of his cheek. So he looks at the half and says, "Keep that other business kind of under wraps, if you could. You feel me?"
I have no idea what you're talking about.
That's my boy. That's my boy. Sorry to hear about your homestead. News travels, as you can see, pretty fast.
It's all right. It's all right.
So
I might
first
try to
thing
find a
then,
place
well-
for Mom and Dad up here, but we'll be back at dawn, and then we can head out.
Leave on the tide then. Sounds great. Now tide's just slightly right at dawn, so come a little early.
Will do.
Perfect. So you head off. You guys are all at the daggerboard. I've already long rested you. Webb comes back in with great news that you have a free ship to get to Korsoth. High or low?
Question.
Who wants to call it?
Quick question. It was 4,000 gold pieces and a magic item.
That's true. I was just hoping
So
you
what
forgot.
was the magic item?
High or low, first of all?
Hi.
Okay.
Hi.
One second.
Give us another baby dragon.
Give you what?
Another baby
The
dragon.
first one really better.
It's an item. It's not a creature.
Tomato, tomato.
I'm going to drop it in the inventory. Oops. I know.
All right. All right.
So it's a shiny helm, nicely made, that he drops in the inventory. I don't know if it's something you could use. It's one that was donated by a solo adventurer of the guild who's been adventuring for near 1,000 years now, who was retiring and wanted to show his love. And he left this here saying it helped him in many a tight situation. It looks kind of, it's very like feudal Japan in the way it looks. It's got an upside down like A crest on it. And it's got the kind of shredder look to it.
Sure.
This thing must have come from Yendel.
It actually is elven made.
Yep, that makes sense.
So it's a Yendelese or Yendolian helm of teleportation.
I've no use for it, but one of you guys might. Magical helmet doesn't do me any good.
It lets you teleport with it. That's pretty cool.
I can't cast spells though, so I'm pretty sure I
Kelsey, can I try it on? And I'm just like,
No, you
I'm
shouldn't.
at your feet.
No.
I'm just holding my hands up.
I'm just gonna run away every time.
I do that.
What?
Yeah, you already have a teleport spell. What the?
And it does require attunement, so if you already have 3 things
Yeah,
attuned,
I can't. But you can also teleport other people, say other people with.
Maybe we hold on to it and then let Roland wear it if we need him to.
Well, hold on. Here's the problem. It requires attunement.
How long does that take? 24 hours?
Attunement takes a short rest.
Takes a long rest.
which you guys will have.
Okay.
You'll have the helmet
Or a
for
short
this
rest.
long rest. So,
Which is
So how
why
does
we
attunement
need to,
work?
it just
If
means you've
he puts
bonded
it on-
with the item.
And then if we take it back, so let's say we have him get attuned to it, but then we take it back and put it in our bag of holding until we want him to wear it again. That would work? We don't know him
Once
yet.
you're attuned with it, you're fine. But if you like lose it for a day and you don't have it on you for a day, then it's gone. But I mean, attunement, once you've worn it and had it with you and used it for a day, then like you're attuned to it. But if you
Okay.
you know put it like leave it somewhere and then leave and go out of town, you're not attuned anymore.
Also, teleport is different from teleportation circle. There's a chance that
Correct.
you could be off target when you try to cast it. So
You
We
also
might
have
wanna-
where you're going. So
we have to know, like, no, you don't have to see where you're going, but you have to know your location or have been there to make it work
Have a
better.
chance. Yeah.
Yeah, so we might want to just like save it for now and use it for an emergency. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we have time.
I mean, somebody has to be attuned to it for it to even work. So I mean,
right. Like in an emergency, that doesn't work. Like somebody's got to be wearing it.
Well, I got an I got an opening. I can attune to it.
Yeah, why don't we just put it on you?
I hope it just
Cast
shrinks down
spell.
to my head, though. That helmet is huge.
It looks like, like when you put your kid in the sandbox and they put a bucket on their head.
Mm-hmm. It's exactly what it looks
This
like.
is this is Webb
Dang.
with that helmet.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Dane.
yes.
So we have like a 6 or 7 day boat ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So
something's gonna happen in the meantime. Like,
sure, I just meant maybe along that time we learn to actually trust and get to know Roland, right? And decide if you should wear it. Something that actually fits in the hat.
it's
could
magic.
switch.
It'll fit Webb.
Yeah, it'll shrink down to me.
how many times do you have to tune?
Roland's got a
I don't
helmet.
think it cast.
Roland's got a
You don't
helmet
need to be able to
twice
cast.
already.
Yeah. I know, it doesn't look like Roland wants to give up his helmet, so Webb's the best.
You got that right, Kelsey.
Web is the best.
Why would you need to be able to cast to use a magic item?
You don't have to have an ability to cast. The item itself does the casting. You can just wear it.
Okay. Well, I don't need it.
But you've already got 3 things you're wearing, Web.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm going to
it's-
take
it's-
off the hat of disguise.
Nope, that's your 4th thing.
It's a party resource, so like I don't care. Like I'll wear it if nobody else wants to.
Yeah, I was
I
just
can wear
thinking
it.
because no one wanted it.
Yeah, I thought that from what Kelsey said or Megan said, I thought that I thought you
I'm
had to be able to cast.
Thinking about scrolls and shit. No, it's a magical item would be different. That's right.
Jill, sorry, you take this. I
At
look
least
like
you don't
I
need-
look like a damn fool.
All right, put it on my big green head. Let's go.
Okay, so you also have the headband of intellect, Jill Sara. You're not wearing it currently, but you have that, and you can't wear both. I'm assuming you'd rather the helm of teleportation, Which honestly it makes sense for you to have too, because you can teleport where you need to go to shoot from a better angle and hide or something, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I won't run like web, so we're good.
Yeah, you don't need to run.
That's the
Those
one that
were
doesn't
all
ever
tactical.
take damage. The second you take damage, you'll be out.
That's so true. That's so true. Yeah.
Kelly says the helm is mildly cursed. Your head actually grows into it versus. So in that case, give it to Webb, because you're gonna have like a little 2-foot tall guy running around with a head twice the size, bobbling a head around.
Oh no!
With the Mardi Gras float.
That's funny.
Very handsome.
Inspiration to Kelly.
Cute.
No, he'll need it as he joins on the Case of the Wednesdays. So awesome. So okay, sounds good. Got your long rest. Jilsara's going to take the helmet to teleportation for now. Full disclosure, she does have a headband of intellect she's not utilizing. So if somebody wants to be real super smart for a while or forever while wearing it, that's not a bad thing.
Do any of the magic casters use intelligence? Like,
Wizard.
does anybody use intelligence?
Wizard.
Just Rigby.
R.I.P.
Are we on the boat?
You probably already had that capped anyways. So.
Yes, you probably did.
I don't see that. Would you call it a helm of intellect? I don't
We
see
could
that
leave
in
that
my
with
inventory.
Headband of
Stu.
It's right
I
below
see.
hammer, right above helm of transportation.
Yeah, no, I got it.
Donate it to the dagger board.
That would
There you
cover
go.
your fee.
You guys cool with that, or you want to wear a super smart headband?
I have no need for smarts.
I'm already smart.
I got fists.
It's got like the silhouette of the thinking guy on it.
All right, I take my arrow back, pull it out of the table. I put it in there pretty hard, so I gotta kind of yank it out. I put the headband on there and said,
Okay.
I'm in a giving mood. Here you go.
And then while we're here,
Boom.
just as a reminder, Jilsara, there is you went to Killick Fair to do some things. I wanted to touch base on that because there's something that can happen there that will benefit you greatly. So, as you may or may not remember, Thom or the kobold and and his buddy that worked there. So it was Dr. Klein, and then I believe it was Thom or just Tom.
Oh man.
The kobold. They're both inventors and they work there. When they see your bow, they go bananas. They see like your compound longbow that shoots 2 arrows per round, and they go bananas, and they ask if they can study it and potentially improve on it. Will you leave it with them?
Can I break their kneecaps if they mess with it?
I mean, to be clear, the team saved the kobold from certain death at the hands of a cult of
Yeah,
children.
Romaine is trustworthy.
Thank you.
Ooh,
Thumb.
but I won't have it for the
You'll-
next little bit.
Right, but you will have your other magic bow. So you'll still have a magic bow. It just shoots once, but then when you get back, you'll have a magic bow that shoots twice, is what I'm telling you, out of character.
Yeah. Okay. It is already magic. I thought it was last
It's
week. It said that on
masterwork, so it is ready to be enchanted.
there. Okay. We'll leave it. I got it. I'm hearing your cues. Thank you. We'll leave the bow with the trustworthy men and not buy any more magical elephants, even though she really wants to.
You could try and find a magical creature here still. There are a few places that do have magic items in town. If you guys do have anything on your shopping list you want before you're back in the throes of chaos and Korsoth, now would be the time.
Yeah, I want armor of invulnerability.
Jesus.
Shut up, Tim.
He really wants it, though.
I do.
I'll restock my bandolier potions. I think I need 2 more.
Okay.
Oh yeah, how much are potions?
They're 50 gold apiece for you, Greystar.
That's for the just like regular
For the
common
one,
ones.
the 2d4 plus 2. If you go to Killick Fair, Thomaine and Dr. Klein will hook you up with a bandolier. It has, what is it, 4 in it? For 200
Yes.
gold. And they'll include the bandolier.
I'm just gonna take my chances for now.
Okay. Plate mail of invulnerability is between 50 and 100,000 gold. Do you guys have that much?
Probably.
No, not quite there.
And it's legendary, so you're not going to find it here. I will say there is probably, and maybe not, but probably there is a ancient red dragon lair somewhere with no ancient red dragon in it.
Right, exactly. That's what I was thinking too. I was like, most of the money we got last time was the
on
horde.
its head.
Because it's going to tell you where to go. You have Speak with Dead? I'm open to a conversation.
Yeah, I for sure do.
I like that.
How would Raised Dead work on a head?
It wouldn't. Raised Dead has to have, I think, it's True Resurrection would work on the head.
I don't think I can cast that spell.
No.
Are we going to Korsoth?
I don't think we want an ancient red dragon flying over Summerside.
Whoa.
No.
If it's just a head.
Little friend, you know.
Did we say that we were going to Korsoth?
To who?
Mhm.
Is that like where the thing is? What am I?
Yeah.
Where are we going?
Korsoth is where you're going. Killick Fair is where you could buy, like, potentially talk to.
Yeah, no, I know that. I'm sorry. I was just looking at my notes and realized I'm from Korsoth, and I was like, wait, isn't that where we're going?
Yeah, you're from Korsoth, the wastes of Korsoth, where the barbarian tribes live.
I was just trying to remember where we're from. Where we're going.
You're a slumdog millionaire. It's okay, Kelsey.
Awesome.
All
So,
right.
it sounds like we're going to pick up from, because we're about 10 minutes out, so we're going to pick up from the boat leaving to go to Korsoth. If there is any boat mishaps or adventures, we'll go that way, or we'll be at Korsoth. I guess we have 9 minutes before end of stream to discuss if there's anything that you think is actually possible to find in town to buy. If you guys want to get it, you can go ahead and try now, because some of you do have some cash.
So I was actually, now that I'm like using my brain, wouldn't it be like, can't we travel to Morzanth like just by portal? Wouldn't it be quicker to just leave from Morzanth to go to Korsoth?
Max, I changed that amount again.
Not where we're going.
Oh,
I mean, it looks like Morzanth is right between us and Korsoth.
It is
But
sort
you're
of.
going. You need to go to the.
Oh,
Yeah.
we're in Grinwald. Never mind.
We got to go to the other side of Korsoth.
I'm forgetting where we're at.
Good Lord.
We're at the patch of trees on the right-hand side of Grid.
Yeah, no, I see it now. When I said I was using my brain, I'm not actually using it.
Who needs
It's
it?
okay.
It's for the birds.
But +0 to that intelligence.
You should have took that damn headband.
Yeah, I was going to say
Hey.
we have a headband of intellect for you.
I've no use
Dane.
for knowledge.
how much for the next step up potions? The 44 plus 4,
Oh, okay. I'll double check.
the
for you.
greater.
Oh, and if you guys do, I don't know if I did it for all of you or not, but go ahead and in the spells, find all the healing potions that are in there and put the effects coding healing potions on your sheet under like a potions tab. And then we'll create, however many you have, we'll create dots for that many of each one. That way we can just track it there instead of on your inventory, because it gets confusing when there's some in inventory and some as an action. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
I had that all set up on Rigby, and I got to do it again.
It's not hard
Yeah,
to
like-
do. It's just kind of a pain to think of. So the potion of greater healing would be the one you're speaking of, and those they're the cheapest you would get them for is probably 200 gold. But anybody else in Blackstar could probably find them for 75 to 100.
Okay. Can I try to persuade somebody to give them to me cheaper?
Yeah, the Killick Fair is a great place for that. They do have potions there. They actually made the bandoliers for the smaller ones.
All right, I'm going to try to haggle somebody down and maybe get a deal on
It would be Dr.
4 of
Klein.
those.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you want to buy 4, so maybe like a group discount for getting 4.
Yeah.
You have advantage
And,
for coming in. You came in with Blackstar. I'll give you advantage.
Okay.
He'll do 125 a piece for 4, so you're looking at 500 for
500?
4.
Okay. I'll take it.
And then, does everybody understand how to add those? I know Megan does, but does anybody else understand how to add the potions to their actions tab?
Yeah, I've got like 30 potions, so that might be a little cumbersome.
No, it's not, because it's just like arrows. It's just 3 lines.
Okay.
Let me see. I thought I put 1 on here for you. I'll do yours real quick, Cam.
Oh, I have potion?
I don't think you have any on your sheet.
Oh, I do in my inventory. I've got a couple, but they're... Hang on. Potion of climbing. That's the only one I have.
You don't have any, I feel like you did have some regular healing potions, though.
I don't think so. I just have Magvarus and Leb's mom.
We don't need potions. Never did hit.
Didn't you buy the bandolier?
No, I don't think so. Is that a little healing man? I don't ever get hit, so I don't really need a whole lot of healing. I almost added a feat for
famous last words. Yeah, you guys have left
but...
out a few different times on things that should have maybe probably killed you.
She can teleport now too, so she really won't be in any danger. She can teleport away if she starts to get out.
It's not a lie. There you go. So you have those. Let me do preparation. I'm just gonna throw 2 on there. There you go. You have 2 little potions now. Because I think you had some. And Max, are you doing yours?
Yeah, how do I make like an items tab though on actions?
Just drop the item. Just drop the item somewhere.
Yeah, I did, and it just appeared in my like Bard features.
What item?
So it says Bard features, you would type over that and write items.
Like group.
Well,
when you're in the group category.
And it makes its own group.
Oh, I see. Okay, thanks.
Yep.
Yeah, change that. Oh, there you go. Cool. All right, guys. So yeah, that sounds good. Has anybody got anything else for tonight then, or should we wrap this up? I'm pretty easy going either way.
I've got some shopping, but I can give it to you offline.
Offline. Okay. So then, essentially, thank you guys for coming and playing. I know it was a heavy RP and kind of setup game tonight, and then we'll pick up from entering Korsoth, which may or may not have combat involved, but the likelihood is better that it'll be another kind of roleplay heavy night, getting introduced to the Korsothian locals and whatnot next week. So plan for that, and thank you for watching. Those who have watched, don't forget to follow and subscribe. Obviously, you get your free Prime subscription available for you once a month that you can just drop on your favorite streamer here. That's me. And also too, obviously, I've been throwing a bunch of stuff in. I love those churros. In the chat for just different links to if you want to get started playing Dungeons and Dragons or using Fantasy Grounds. There's links in the chat to use to follow them that I'm affiliated with. That helps me out. So thanks again for playing. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off of the stream, and I'll see you guys Monday for Neverwinter, and then Wednesday for Cases of Wednesdays, and then Sunday again.